it again. Like, they're obviously doing very well. That's always beautiful. So I'm very excited. And speaking of the man, spawning over in the top right-hand side, playing for Team Gen G, it is PiLiPiLi.
His opponent in the southeast playing as the Blue Protoss, it is Astrea.
Beautiful name for a beautiful man. I like that PiLiPiLi's just, playing an important game. He's just got dudes in the back munching on chips and knocking him about.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's see if he can deliver here. Looks like we got an earlier scout from Pili. He will finally be there for Astrea here after the gas. And he just
so tell me, Todd,
proxies.
I was going to ask you, what was the PvP meta back when you played a lot of StarCraft?
Honestly, a bit of everything. Like, you always had to wall off. We saw Stargate a lot, and then it was... After expanding, if you wanted to play aggressive, you could go Glaives and then play aggressive with that. But then it wasn't a long-term strategy. So then people would try to play with Stargloss and Archons instead. You could also go Blink Stalkers into Disruptors, but it was kind of hard to pull off, I would say. Like, you have to be really good at that style in particular. So yeah, kind of everything, I want to say.
That's cool, that's cool. I like it. Now, in fact, I can't remember... I think Blink Disruptor, like the first time I saw that being utilized super well was Neeb when he went over to Korea and won a Kesper Cup and what have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, PvP has taken on a whole new form recently. Astrea opening up Stalker Sentry. This is the first super deviation we see. And that's unusual to go for a Sentry this early.
Probably for a scout, I would guess. With their destination.
They made a few changes that were really good for PvP. One of the best ones, or worst ones depending on who you talk to, they made hallucination cost 75 energy instead of 100. So very often you have Protosses getting quite a few sentries just to keep tabs on their opponent.
I'm pretty sure I was still around for that. It's good of you to mention it. Yeah, you get the scout quickly, and you can know, like, especially if you rush that sentry, like, you get it immediately. It's definitely a scout that you get early on. Usually the player that's is a little bit more afraid that the opponent might play aggressive will be the one getting one, but if they both get one, it means they both want to play like pretty standard and Expo. And so far, yeah, this looks identical to what I remember here, the expansion.
I was just thinking, like, I was thinking of PvP metas like way back. Did you play StarCraft 2 right at the start? Like when Warp Gate took 30 seconds or something, and it was just about who could plant more pylons in the opponent's base and warp in zealots and stuff?
Yeah, I didn't play immediately after release, but kind of shortly after that, maybe like some months or something. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I was there for the 4-gate ridiculousness.
It was like, yeah, Warp Gate took 30 seconds, and you just plant pylons in your opponent's base as much as you could to warp in the zealots, and you had to do the same back.
Down the ramp. You could put it down the ramp and then warp on the up the ramp.
Oh, we're thinking of different strats. Like, at one point, like, Warp Gate literally was done. Like, it just upgraded immediately. So you'd attack with, like, unupgraded zealots, and you'd stop mining gas after 50 just for the Warp Gate. Like, it was so silly. And then there was, like, the Sentry 4-gate / 5-gate, where Sentries did more damage per hit than Stalkers, which was insane as well. Beautiful stuff.
Thank God, none of that. It looks like we're going to have a lot of Blink Stalkers there made, though, in this match. And a quick +1 for Astrea here, which... Oh! When you see that, when you see the opponent rushing for that, you always going to have a choice of, do you want to try and catch up, or do you maybe want to try and fight before this becomes more relevant?
Yeah, definitely interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if PiLiPiLi kind of pulls the trigger after seeing something like that. He's also saw that his opponent went quite a few sentries early on. Oh, wow. Okay. A very quick third as a response. I mean, I like it. I like it from PiLiPiLi.
Yeah. It might seem like greedy, but if you skip on the gases at the expansion, like, you're doing fine enough mineral-wise. And I wonder if the plan might be to go into more gates and maybe charge immediately after this, because he doesn't have a robo yet. There go the extra gates. He could also go into a lot of Stalkers in the first place, but usually it's not really the unit you want to exclusively mass here in this matchup.
I was looking at Astrea's face then just to see if he had any reaction to seeing such an early third. There was maybe a little bit of a twitch here or there. These probes stood at the top of the ramp here are there just in case adepts come so they can get a quick wall off. So far though, I mean, it's a very standard game with both players taking slightly different routes, but PiLiPiLi definitely on the, slightly more risk-takey side.
I never took you for the face reader type then.
I'm all about that, mate.
Yeah, can you read lips?
No, not at all.
But if a French player lost some units or a game and said Sacre Bleu, you could probably know what they're saying, right?
Absolutely. Or do you notice this with certain cultures and stuff and certain languages? There's always the word that they go to. Like, in Europe, we don't tend to use this as much, but Americans, when something goes wrong, it's always, God damn it. 9 times out of 10.
I was thinking of another word at first, but yeah, that's also one of the, an expression.
Yeah, this is the more PG one.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, Todd. This is back when you used to play. Sentries and a warp prism.
He's going to empower those gates immediately. Bit of a late reaction from Pili. He's going to blink up immediately. Might need to pull some probes. Tries to go for the prism, but there's so many Stalkers in position already, and the Guardian Shield is doing so much for him. He can reforce field the ramp too.
Oh, but this is just so much Astrea here. 2 of the warp gates are unpowered, but Pili does have a ton of warp gates available. And I mean, these probes, they're going to be very good at just being cannon fodder, but Astrea is actually microing really well with this. He's actually sniping down all the Stalkers single-handedly, switching the target fire as well. Beautiful micro by Astrea.
Yeah, let's see if Pili can survive here. He's really struggling. Probes having to work that OT. And Stalkers, he's just got such low amounts. He might have needed to cancel charge as well. It feels useless here.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, PiLiPiLi, even if he survives, which I'm not sure he can at this point, he's sent back to the Stone Age here. 21 probes go down. He's also, maybe most importantly, going to be... Wow, those Stalkers just wandered all the way into that base there. He's also going to be down 2-0 versus 0-0 upgrades.
That's crazy, yeah. Astrea didn't miss a beat in the meantime as well. He kept on making probes. 4 more gates on the way now, and the far superior Stalker count, he just has to blink back the injured ones now, and he should be able to close things out in map number 1.
Yeah, very nice play by the American here. And sniping down the Zealots before they can even do anything. The probes are pulled in yet again. PiLiPiLi taps out 1-0 Astrea.
That was very well done here. I think +1 probably finished just before. Actually, I'm seeing it with a delay. Yeah, he finished just before I hit that timing. So it's literally like a +1 timing with enough sentries to have Guardian Shield and also zone the opponent out. The thing about that style is that you skip Observer for a very long time if you're Pili, because you rush the third base instead of making the Robo. And I really think that Astrea picked up on that. He was like, oh, you don't have Observer. I'm going to go on the other side of the map undetected. Like your hallucinated Phoenixes, they're only scouting my bases, not my army.
Yeah, definitely calculated by Astrea, and this is something that you'll see from him quite a lot. Like his builds are very clean. It's very obvious that he doesn't just do his own things. He definitely follows a solid build, and he's very with the meta. There was a Blizzard Team League not too long ago. In fact, when I say that, it was quite a while ago now. But he was going toe-to-toe with some of the big dogs. Like, I think he beat Innovation and Maru. Like, just to talk about the level that Astrea sometimes plays at. And he's absolutely a contender for who is the best in North America right now. Like, for real. He's very, very good.
Oh, you think he could win it all?
Oh, yeah. Like, he's absolute. Like, I know very often it's like, okay, who are the best players here? Who are the best players there? Like, you'd give Serral, Raynor, and Clem the best chances for Europe. But Astrea is absolutely in that mix now with Scarlet and Neeb. Like, you wouldn't count him out.
It's interesting. I want to see if he can keep that up here, if maybe PiLiPiLi will come back with a bit of a stronger build. It did feel like, obviously, you miss the opponent's army for even just a moment at this level. That's it. Like, you've lost the game. Once he's up on the high ground, like, you don't have so much initiative to try and even come back in the game. You know, he blinked up immediately, but Guardian Shield was active the whole time. So not much room to try and really do anything to come back, sadly for him.
It was also nice use of the map. Like, that ramp is so easily viable when you blink in. Like, it's right there for the force field and stuff. Like, on a map like this, you can still get in and do that kind of thing, but it was very, very tight and hard to get back into the main base with PiLiPiLi. Anyhow, spawning over in the bottom right-hand side, playing as the Red Protoss, it is PiLiPiLi.
And his opponents in the blue, in the northwest, they call him Max Angel, also known as Astrea. I can't imagine him getting bullied because of his name in school. He was probably the cool one instead.
Did he get bullied? Or are you just saying you can't imagine it?
Yeah, I'm saying he could never get bullied with a cool name like this. However, with Baker, probably had a couple jokes thrown at you, didn't you?
I think the worst one that would very often get repeated would be, bake me a cake. And it's like,
that sounds terrible, yeah.
Yeah, back when I was like 7, that was the bake me a cake baker or something like this. It was ridiculous, Todd. They found themselves so funny. Luckily, I learned the your mum joke very early on. When I was 6, it was just, they were done. They were done.
You were ahead of your time.
I was ahead of my time. 10 years later, it became cool to say that, and I was past it by then.
All right, so both players again went for a wall. Very standard kind of what you have to. I expect more of the same openers here. I mean, we're not seeing any proxies on the map, so probably again, you know, double Stalker or Stalker Sentry into expansion. And I'm curious whether that +1, that quick +1 from Astrea was a one-off, or is that something that he does regularly?
Astrea has a slightly earlier Cybercore, and it is PiLiPiLi with the earlier Scouty again, right? So just wanted to be a little bit safe. Oh, guess the Sentry with the first batch and yet again, but it's PiLiPiLi going for the double Adept this time. I am wondering why people don't do the Stalker Sentry normally, because usually, Todd, it's like Stalker or Adept, whereas Astrea kind of skips a beat here with this, so I want to see the weaknesses of it.
Maybe that's what it is. It's double Adept, because Adepts kill sentries very quickly, so yeah. PiLiPiLi, after game 1, he had to think, okay, what did he do? He went Sentry and Stalker, like that means he likes to get a Sentry quickly. Like, if you play aggressive and you force a force fields, it means that the opponent won't have a destination to scout as early, and then you're already creating like a very uncomfortable position for him. So PiLi actually goes Stargate behind it. So that might be the whole plan here, is to force some energy to be used so that he can then surprise with a Stargate unit.
Yeah, PiLiPiLi's definitely going on the full-out aggressive this game. Oh, did he cancel his next two? He cancelled his 3rd and 4th Adept, right? I saw him making it for a moment, and he went for his earlier Nexus instead, so
yeah,
maybe he saw something that changed things up a little bit for him.
And it also means, if that's probe, by the way, oh my god, Astrea's going to play aggressive. If he had sent the probe in, he would have been able to see the Stargates, but he's going to be able to see it. If he moves that hallucinated Phoenix, he's not sending it in. He's just checking the echo. He's not checking the tech at all.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a bit of a misplay by Astrea, but maybe he knows his opponent quite well. These Adepts, are they going to... Wow, he actually went and dealt it all the way, but didn't quite get in there. This game so far is definitely going decent for Astrea. Oh, Void Ray by PiLi. It's almost like he knows something's going to come his way.
That Oracle. I'm getting really worried for Astrea. I see that probes already in the pipeline here. He's even walled himself out. I mean, his units are across the map anyway. He does have a recall, but I mean, it would be pretty costly. Like, he's counting on doing a lot of damage on the other side of the map. Probes being pulled. There's a lot of Stalkers. Astrea will try and kill PiLi on this side of the map. Once he goes Void Ray, oh my god, he flew inside of the Stalkers.
That was not good. I mean, he's going to get a lot of probes here, but I think he's dead, Todd. I think it's over.
The Oracle's fighting a Stalker on this side. Okay, he's going to manually target on a bunch of these probes. Astrea lost a lot of workers, but I think that PiLi might be about to lose a whole lot more himself.
That last Stalker did fall for Astrea in his main base, so that Oracle is definitely getting a lot of damage done, but trying to kill Stalkers with probes. The second Void Ray comes out.
Oh my god.
Hey, Todd, I think PiLiPiLi's done this. I
want to
think
bake him a
gonna be
cake,
in okay
man.
shape. I'm going to bake him a cake, mate. Sod off.
Alright, Void Ray gets the cleanup. Yeah, the Oracle still being alive is a big deal here because Astrea doesn't really have the economy to get a lot of Stalkers, and actually one of the Stalkers is kind of locked out of the main. So the Oracle can fly into the Expo and kill more in a few moments after he replenishes his energy.
The funniest thing about this is we're kind of reset. You're going to suicide the Oracle? I don't think that was worth it. That was definitely not worth it for 2 probes, because Astrea, he's got 2 probes slightly more, and honestly, when it comes to tech, having that blink tech is way better in this scenario than anything the Stargate can produce, I feel.
Ooh, these Adepts gonna try to sneak in. If that's what, I mean, there's no probe in the wall. That could be a lot of kills on these probes here.
Yeah, oh, that probe, is that the probe? Wow. That was pretty clutch, actually, but shield battery against 2 Adepts, not gonna cut it. 3 probes down. I mean, even if you get 3 probes and the Adepts all die, it's not actually that bad.
Ooh, he cancels the shade at the last second. Very well done. So Astrea is on 29 workers against 25, and he's getting blink earlier. So I would say this is kind of decent for him now, but he needs to be careful not to underestimate or misread the situation with the Oracle, because there's one of those about to fly into his main base, and he still doesn't have a shield battery, nor does he have Stalkers in position.
Definitely brazen play by Astrea, not having a shield battery, and wow, that Oracle, 5 kills immediately. But there are Adepts on the other side of the map dealing damage. And, oh, they get in the main Todd. This is actually a huge deal. Blink is ready too, so kill the Oracle. But this is damage that you don't really come back from, I feel. But he has to kill quite a few, because PiLiPiLi has dealt 15 probes? How the hell? Oh, the Adepts are natural.
There's Adepts everywhere. Like, probes are they're fearing for their lives everywhere on this map right now. As this Adept is about to get caught. Can he shade on time? It's gonna be close. Will do just that. Wow, that was very few hit points here. 12. PiLi on 31 workers against 23 for Astrea. He's done it again.
7 minutes in, and overall, we've had 57 probe deaths this game. That is wild.
That's a scary economy crash on both sides, but more so for Astrea, who finally finds some more damage. I mean, this never ends. It's just a worker-killing matchup right here.
And this was very ballsy play with these Stalkers. Oh my god, is he going to get it? That was cute play by Astrea. That was very well done.
Astrea maybe about to take the 3rd base here. I see he already has 2 pylons in position there. He's doing a reverse Roddy.
You're shameless. You know he's going to be watching this. He's going to, he's going to be on his 19th beer for the day, losing maybe like his 10,000 pot, and he's going to be like, "Damn it, Todd, you're just making my life even worse, aren't you?"
He always tells stories about me. You know, it has to go both ways.
Yeah, but when you're there most of the time, this just came out of nowhere.
PiLi adding 1 more gate, so he wants to go into a lot of Blink Stalkers himself. It's funny to see that Cybercore, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's unpowered, and he's just kind of leaving it as that.
Yeah, it's like, I don't need you anyway. Although it is a sad-looking Cybercore in the main base. Like, he could get a cancel here. Like, PiLiPiLi, he's got his own blink now, and it's a decent amount of Stalkers, but Astrea's micro's definitely been on point. Oh, he's actually going for the main. This is a bit scary for PiLiPiLi.
Probes immediately. That might be a mistake. Maybe buying time, but I think he's really worried about the Stalkers. Cannot quite blink down. Yeah, the Stalker counts. Astrea's using that so well. I gotta say, I'm so impressed with Astrea's Stalker control.
He's really good, isn't he? He's like, he's no joke. Good target fire, good getting away. It's also like, it'll be 1 or 2 Stalkers blinking as opposed to the whole bunch. He's just very clean with a lot of his play.
We have charge on the way now.
Say that, and then he gets dumped.
And he overstays his welcome. He might be overextending with the chase here. He's blink out of there. He's got as many Stalkers now.
Yeah, and as well as Astrea's playing, PiLiPiLi he's given him a good run. Like PiLiPiLi's behind this game, make no mistake about it. And does he even have a Forge this game? He's still skipping out on the Forge. He's going for a Warp Prism, a lot of gateways. I'm not sure about what his game plan is. I'd imagine it's just to get a lot of Blink Stalkers and go ham.
Seems to be what he's ready to do. Brawl with Stalkers all over the place. I like the 2 Adepts in the top right-hand side, by the way. Like, if he times that really well into the Expo, like, let's say when you know a fight's going to be happening, you can even shift the shade there, too. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And Astrea is just back in to be super annoying. And this is going to be annoying for PiLiPiLi to deal with, because we see that he's only got one thing on his mind, and that is dealing damage on the other side of the map. And this is going to... looks like a bit base tradey so far, but I love it for Astrea. He's just got more units here, there, and everywhere. PiLiPiLi's in trouble.
He needs to defend on his side of the map as well at the same time. You can be blinking Stalkers in 2 places at once. Immortal came out for Astrea as well to help out. He's going to recall the Stalkers that he had on the other side to go for the chase.
This is a very rough situation for PiLiPiLi. He's outgunned. He's got a worse economy right now. I think those Adepts as well of Astrea got in somewhere and did some damage, because I don't see them. Oh, wait, no, they're still over there.
Come on, Peter, you know what you have to do to win this game. Dark Shrine, bro.
Dark Shrine?
Palpatine voice. Do it. Do it.
Oh, this game, it's as time goes on, it's just worse for PiLiPiLi. Those upgrades are really going to bite him in the butt at some point, if he's not already very far behind. But again, it's just he's not left with many good choices here, and Astrea is very quick to respond.
And Adepts again into Pili's Expo. Perfect.
Oh, nice round.
Going to shade away. Was a bit slow with that. Damn, that SimCity really screwed with him.
It really did screw with him. And he's like, I'm still alive. Not for long.
Where's the Dark Shrine?
Is that what you're going to be looking for?
I'm looking at all of this base of Astrea without a cannon in those mineral lines. And I'm like, I see so many potential dead probes that could have happened.
I'm actually quite surprised that PiLiPiLi's done such a good job of catching up in supply. But Astrea, like, the complexity of his army, having these 3 Immortals, it's very strong. He needs to fight near those shield batteries, though, and he does exactly that. Warpins go down for Astrea. PiLiPiLi, he's trying to kill an Immortal with a shield battery there, especially with Overcharge. That ain't going to happen anytime soon. And the force fields go down, but they're almost like, all right, you've got me, force fields, at this point. PiLiPiLi, I think he's got one more effort to go, but it's not looking good. Astrea just too solid this game.
He's actually overconfident. He's sending Zealots across the map, so he's not keeping any at home to defend against this force. That's a lot of Zealots against Immortals. And Pili get on top of this army and kill the Immortals. Perhaps Astrea getting a little bit overconfident here for a second, but he does have a lot of Stalkers himself.
He has, yeah, I mean, you're right. It was getting close. And I mean, these Zealots are just hitting buildings right now, but there's just too much Astrea at this point. I think PiLiPiLi knows it. He's getting chased down here, and he can't hold off. Nice hold position with these probes. Mate, they're going for the full Tour de France. Like, they just ran to the base, and they're coming back home, maybe. GG.